podcast, an opportunity to help you lead well by caring for your soul, developing your skills, and cultivating communities to do good work. Hello, my name is Zach and Bowden, the host of this podcast, and I'm excited for the episode today. It's actually a part 1, and then part 2 will come out next month as well. My role right now is a connections pastor at New Life Bible Fellowship. I do lots of things. I oversee our adult ministries, local outreach, and other things as well. But I also oversee our children's and student ministry teams here at New Life. And so what I thought I'd do is get whoever was in the office a few days ago together, and we'd just have some fun. And what we did is I found a list on Google, 50 questions you could ask kids. And so what I thought I'd do is have us go around and answer questions and get to know each other in a fun way. So I hope as you listen to this, right, if you lead groups, if you lead teams, or if you're in leadership in some ways, I encourage you as you listen to our conversation today, listen not just what we say and the fun, but listen also to the conversations that are happening. And what can you learn as you listen to our conversations about leadership, about yourself, and the people you lead. And so enjoy this conversation as our team, we get together and we have fun together, we laugh together, and we get to know each other a little bit more. So let's go around and introduce ourselves. Kim, why don't you share who you are, your role here at New Life, and maybe how long you've been on staff?
My name is Kim Parrish, and I have the pleasure of being the Children's Ministry Director here. And I have been here on staff for almost 2 years now.
And I am Stacy MacLaren. I am what am I? Adult Ministries Associate and Communications Associate. And I have been on staff here a little over a year and love every minute of my job most days. And I think that's it.
My name is Vanessa Peterson. I am an adult ministry associate. I've been on staff here at New Life since the beginning of the year, so going on 9 months now. And yeah.
My name is Tex. I'm our student ministry director here. I've been here about a year and some change, so we've really enjoyed it. It's been a pretty good adventure getting to know all of these people you're kind of getting to know now and will get to know even better soon.
I'm Maria Brown, and I'm a children's ministry associate, and I work with the preschoolers at New Life.
How long?
And I've been here since January of 2014.
There you go. Awesome. So like I said in our introduction, we are going to do questions for 50 questions for questions to ask kids. And so we'll start with Kim, since you work with children's ministry. This should be the easiest one for you. Pick a number 1 through 50.
I'm going to take 43.
43. All right, here's your question. What's something you would like to learn how to do?
Oh, my goodness. What do I want to learn how to do? I know this is going to sound really odd, but I want to learn how to be a car mechanic. Like, I would love to know how to fix cars. I know that sounds really random.
That has nothing to do with the fact that your cars
but I would love to
always
know.
having some struggles too,
I know,
isn't it?
yeah, I'm always having struggles. I got 3 driving teenagers. I want to learn how to fix a car. That could, second. Yeah, that
Who
would
needs to take it to a mechanic for a fender bender when Miss Kim can take care of it with her kids, right?
I could really help people if I could fix their cars.
All the parent
yeah. I could say, I'll fix your car for free if you'll sit here and talk to me. How cool would that be?
Talk or listen.
Well, probably a little bit of both.
I think that's the one thing I like about the mechanic is that they don't talk to me. And so, you're adding an element that just makes me terrified.
But I could share Jesus with people that stand there and have to talk to me while I fix their car, you know?
Amen.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Stacy, number 1 through 50. Not 43, though.
Not 43. I am going to go with 27.
27. Oh, this is a perfect one for you.
Oh, great.
If you had superpowers, what would they be?
Oh. I'm trying to think of my favorite hero. What does Wonder Woman have? I don't know. Is staying up is not requiring sleep a superpower?
I mean, I would say so.
I would love that.
Every parent in the room would say yes.
To not have to have any sleep.
The ability not to sleep.
The ability.
But to be restored, just as though you had.
Yeah, like to never have to have rest.
What would be your thing you go to for energy then?
Always coffee.
Always coffee. Okay.
Always coffee. Yeah.
There you go.
See, it wasn't the perfect question for me.
All right, Vanessa, 1 through 50, not those two numbers, wherever they were.
All right, not those two numbers. I'm going to go with number 11.
11. Oh, boy, this is a great one. 50 questions. Ask your kids, where do babies come from?
Oh, no. Well, we all know they come from the stork. Duh. That was an easy one.
I was going to say babies are us.
Yeah,
so.
Babies are us. That's where the stork gets them, and then he delivers them.
He's the
Ask
DoorDash of
a
that.
different. No, we don't want multiples. That's bulk. Babies in bulk is not good. Ask a different one. Different number.
Different number. We're going to go with 5.
5. What's the nicest thing anyone has ever said to you?
Oh, my goodness. I think the nicest thing that I can think of off the top of my head was that when my mom told me that I was a really great mother. I think my mom is a really great mother, and I'm really close with her, so just having her say that and pour that into me just really filled my cup up, and I just thought it was really nice.
Beautiful. Yeah. What about you, Tex?
I want to follow that.
Yeah. We'll pick a good number.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, let me see. Let's go with 50. Let's go big or go home.
Oh, this is a good one too. What's the greatest thing about being you?
What is the greatest thing about being me? Man, that I could go on all day. Gosh. Man, I'd have to go just off the top of my head. I think my birthday is probably, I'm a leap day baby. It's an easy conversation thing, so it doesn't mean I have to think hard. I don't have to try hard. Like, what's an interesting fact? I'm born on leap day. I'm 7 years old. Tell me not to act my age or I'll throw a tantrum on the floor. Like, it's great. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm curious to hear from you, when that question came, was there a little bit of dread in that question? Like, oh, I'm glad that one didn't get asked to me? Or is there a sense like, oh, I wish I could share that question, answer that question?
I'd say dread. I wouldn't want to answer that question, like trying to think of like, oh, okay, wait, hold on. Like, yeah, I could probably answer the opposite of that. Like, what's not so great about being me? But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have talked about my lack of hair, my baldness, but we decided let's not go there.
What else? Was that easy? Was that an easy question or a hard question for some of you?
So I don't know that I looked at this as a personality thing more than, but the best thing about it's not dread for sure. That was an easy one. I wish I would have had that one. Yeah.
It's interesting anyone else, Vanessa, Maria? No. It's interesting that question comes up because I think as kids, it's easy to say, oh, I'm fast, I'm smart, I love to read, I'm good at video games. Like, kids have a natural ability to share things that they're really good at, and things that are just what they enjoy. But sometimes for us as adults, it's easy for us to go negative. It's easier for us to go through the things that we struggle with or that we feel insecure about, and it's hard for us to see things that are positive, and so are good for us.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. And I think as the older we get, it's often easier for us to, what we thought we were good at, we've seen people who are better at it. And I think we start getting into that comparison trap, like you're saying, and we start to say, man, you know what? I thought I was good at art or I was good at running, whatever the case is. And man, like, things have changed in my life for whatever reason. And so seeing that changes, and we get into that comparison rut versus like seeing the fact we do have something to offer and we do have something good.
I think there's also a vulnerability, though, is because when you say that you think you're great at something or there's something great about you, if other people were to say, yeah, no, that you're not great at that. Like that, like if there's a vulnerability of admitting what you think you're good at, because then others' opinion, I think as an adult, that puts you in that position.
Yeah. Don't talk about my American Idol tape like that.
So let's do this. Let's actually go around and everyone answer that question. What's the greatest thing about being you?
Oh, Glory, you're going to make me answer this question.
All right, go for it, Kim.
The greatest thing about being me, I think that God has allowed me to see people. Like, I like that about me. I think that that's a gift from God, that I feel like he's allowed me to have discernment and see people the way that other people might not see them.
Yeah. That's good.
I said it without crying.
I thought you said about crying. I cried everything. That's the best thing about being me. All right, who wants to go next?
Anybody else? Me.
Go for it, Stacy. You have the mic.
So I think the greatest thing about being me is that in the creative realm, there's not a whole lot that I won't try. There isn't a, kind of like you said, I would be a car mechanic. I would not choose to be a car mechanic, but there isn't anything as far as the creative world that I wouldn't say, well, let's just jump in with both feet. And I would take as many people with me as I could. Like, I don't want others to see the phrase, I'm not creative, I think is one of the biggest fallacies that anybody can speak. And so I think the greatest thing about me is that somehow I'm going to get you to see that you're creative.
That's awesome. Thanks, Stacy.
That's good.
Vanessa, Maria? This is Vanessa.
I think the greatest thing about being me is that I see potential and beauty in every situation. Where someone might see a disaster, I see it as something that could be rebuilt and made even stronger. I am always the glass is always full kind of person. It's never half empty, and it's never empty. Because even if it's only half full of water, there's still something else in there taking up space. It could just be air. So I just always naturally see the positives and the good in others and other things.
That's great. How about you, Maria?
All right, I'm going to, hopefully this is a good answer, is I think the greatest thing, the way God made me, and I'm throwing God in there, but is that I love unity. And so if something's not working or people aren't talking, my heart is I would love to see them unified.
That's great. That's a great answer.
Yeah, well, we definitely see that even with like fun debates and fights around the office. We see, Maria just do that really well, just where she's neutral, even if it's, Kim trying to fight with one of our other people in a wrestling match. Like, Maria still takes the middle ground in that. It's pretty great.
So I'm the redneck wrestling mechanic on staff, just so you all know. So Zach, I want to hear what's the greatest thing about you.
Everything.
And this,
I beg to differ.
No, let's see. I think there's two things I would say. I think one, I try to have fun as much as I can. Even like this, like yesterday for all of us in the season we have, it was busy, and so even it's easy sometimes to get stuck in busyness of life and not to enjoy it. And so I had to try to have fun, where it's just to sit and ask questions like questions you could ask your kids. I think the other thing I think I enjoy about being me, the greatest thing, I think I do a good job in letting people feel heard and seen. And so I love the ability. Yeah, I love that everyone has a chance to be heard and seen by me and stuff. So yeah,
that's good. You are good at that.
Thanks. Let's see. We went around. Maria, pick a number.
I will pick the number 12.
Number 12. Oh, this is a great one. Were there dinosaurs on Noah's Ark?
Oh, wow. I'm going to say that God created everything. And so if there were dinosaurs, I don't think so, because they're not here anymore. So my theory, based on the Bible, and my understanding of the Bible, is that they're not here. So the Bible doesn't say they drowned or anything, but they're not here. So yeah, God created them and they're not here. So possibly. They drowned. They
didn't make it.
Yeah, they didn't make it through the flood.
Stacy, were there unicorns on the Ark?
There were giraffes on the Ark. There were unicorns on the Ark. Apparently, there was not enough food source for the unicorns, though. So there's maybe a few left.
A few left somewhere. Yeah, there you go.
The dinosaurs slept in like that. They were night things. They are not running. Yes. So good. Literally, we are all belly laughing in this room at the moment. It is that'll be good to hear on tape.
Yeah, yeah. Too bad we didn't have a video on that for you, Vanessa. Vanessa said that they were too busy being late because they're making their beds. So,
but what you can't see is the T-Rex arms that are flapping in the wind,
Big
trying
head
to make
and little
their
arms.
that's fun. We'll do another round here in a second of questions, but I want to pause here. The question I want to ask is, what did you hear from somebody else that you learned? What did you learn about somebody else in this conversation? Or something you knew about them that you want to affirm them in?
That's great. I mean, I would say, like Vanessa, one of the things I definitely affirm, as you were talking about, just seeing everything as half full. I definitely do see that in you. Even recently, I saw one of your kids having a really difficult moment about like their popcorn and you ate a few pieces, right? And just watching you handle that conversation with them and just being like, buddy, it's okay. I had 3 pieces. You have a whole bag still. Like, you literally were trying to show them it was still full. But like, I think you handle that really well. Whereas I'm the one that's like, well, I'm going to go get you 5 more bags. Like, like we'll just settle this really easily a different way. So yeah, I definitely see that so much in what you do, even with, like I said, with your family and stuff is great.
I would affirm Stacy. I think you are very creative and you do a great job with that. You draw me into things because I am one of those people who say I'm not creative. But I also love the way you use your giftings, your creativity, like the way you treat women's events. Like, they don't go without your personal touch and your creativity. And I think that's a beautiful thing about you.
So I will affirm you, Zach, in that you definitely... Well, fun is we're sitting here laughing, so that's definitely a given. But just the whole making people feel heard, even in hard stuff, you've given us all validation in our voices, and I think that's so important to have. Just not simply a safe place, but where you're valid. Your voice has a spot at the table. We all have a spot at the table, and we all have a voice that's been given to us by God, and you recognize us in that, and that each voice needs to be heard. And whether we go in the direction of those voices is another thing, but they're all heard, and we all know that. And so I think that's really important.
So I'm going to affirm Maria in her harmony strength. As a mom with little kids, all 3 of my kids have sat under her preschool teaching, whether it's on a Sunday or in Moms Matter. And it doesn't matter what's going on. If there's a kid that's upset or, just maybe it was a hard morning, Maria always keeps just wonderful harmony between all of the kiddos in her classroom, and she keeps harmony for like the parents and the mom, and it's just full circle between the childcare workers, the parents, and the kiddos. In fact, when my 7-year-old was graduating from Miss Maria's class, he was so upset and literally had a meltdown on the floor that he was going to miss Miss Maria so much. But then once he realized his little sister was going to be in there and what a great opportunity that would be for her, he figured it was okay that he gave her that spot. So, yeah.
Car mechanic Kim.
Redneck wrestling. Yeah. Car mechanic Kim.
I just think what a reflection of you. I think, like your desire to help people in really practical ways. Like, that's who you are. Like, you love helping people in the midst of crisis, even though it's hard and it's inconvenient for you. Like, you love stepping into those moments. And even though, like you said that was kind of fun, like, I never would have thought of you ever wanting to learn that, because I thought about even the heartbeats behind why that you can enjoy that so much. I was like, oh, that is who you are. And I don't know if you'd be good at it or not, but I think your heart behind it and your motive and your desire to help serve people in the midst of crisis would fit that need for you really well and stuff. So
maybe you could combine a coffee shop with the auto mechanic, and that way you hire a great mechanic and you can just run the shop and have the conversations you want. Because I'd be more likely to sit in a shop for sure, like that, have a cup of joe. But yeah,
that's fun. All right, let's go back.
Pat and Penny, don't steal that, people.
Yeah, that's done.
That's a gold idea right there.
All right, let's go back to you, Kim. Let's pick a number.
Let's say 17.
17. What is a friend?
Aww. Will you start singing Friends Are Friends Forever in the background, please? Gosh, a friend is someone to me that... Yes, I need a little Barbra Streisand. That knows me and loves me. I have a big personality. I know that's a shock. But a friend for me, like a true friend for me, is someone that I don't have to worry about measuring myself with. They're like, that's okay that I cry, but that I'm also hysterically loud and obnoxious at times. So, but a friend who's experienced all capacities of me and is okay and loves me the way that I am.
We're all sitting here like, oh, here they come. Here they come.
I was ready to start counting tears. I'm impressed, Kim. You made it another question.
All right, Stacy.
Let's go with 21.
21. What is your favorite thing to do with family?
Favorite thing to do with family? Eat. Yeah.
Amen.
Around the table is our best. I think our best times is just around food, and yeah, I'm especially looking forward to the coming cooler weather here, because that just soup and time around the table leads to great conversation. I think that happens when you have older kids. It happens when your children get older. You engage in those conversations a little bit more. So.
Yeah. What's a favorite meal for you with family?
With family is sausage and potato leek soup, a good rye bread with lots of butter, and usually some sweet tea. So.
Amen to the sweet tea. That's my southern in me is loving that.
Is that you making it, or is that somebody else making it?
It's usually always me making it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Cool. All right, Vanessa.
All right, we're going to go with number 45.
45. What do you think heaven is like?
I think heaven is just even out of our realm to understand and to know how beautiful and wonderful it's going to be. Just really sweet moments. I just think it's, just going to be beyond beautiful.
Anybody else want to add to that question? What do you think heaven's going to be like?
This is Maria. I think heaven is going to be we get to sing, and we're going to have good voices, which I'm very excited about. And there's not going to be any pain, and there's going to be joy and celebration, and seeing Jesus face to face and God. I'm just super looking forward to that, and I have a lot of peace about that.
So my simple answer is heaven is home. It's going to be just the best of everything we can imagine. And like, we think we know home now, but that's going to be home. So
With a big old glass of sweet tea.
with a big old glass of sweet tea.
Mason
That's right.
jar, the whole,
Yeah.
I mean, no, nothing fancy.
I think it would just add to me, if it's the fullness of God's glory that we'll experience. Like TV shows show it, it's all white and you're in gowns and the trumpets, and like, yes, there's aspects that I think they have there, but the fullness of God's glory to me is just his beautiful creation and the colors and everything that reflects him on this earth. I think it's just going to be like an extreme abundance. So yeah.
Cool. Anything?
Yeah, I think you guys hit so much on the nail. I love the idea of it being home is such a great, I think, illustration for it. And I think for me, like, you know, Maria started to really touch on, like, just in Revelation 21, where we see, like, that there is this new heaven, this new earth, that is, the old is gone, the pain in the world is gone, the suffering of the world, there is no more tear, there is no more of that. And I think the idea of just real peace, like, not, oh, I'm finally done working for the day because, like, I have a breathing moment, I finally got the kids to bed, I finally got this done. but real, genuine, there's things is all right with the world and all that is in it. I think that kind of peace is something that we don't completely comprehend. We get windows of it, but I think the idea of seeing what that kind of peace is like is what I look forward to most.
Do you think I'll be able to carry on a conversation in heaven without crying? Like, if there's no tears in heaven, is he talking about my kind of tears too?
That is a great.
Tears gonna populate the street.
I don't know. It might.
Or better yet, is it going to just be like the cries that doesn't ever actually, the oh my, I can't, oh my, like just let it out, let it go.
Zach, what's your opinion on heaven?
There's lots of things I want to say right now, but I'm going to move right along.
Heaven without some voices? Is that maybe
I'm
what
not
you're
saying anything. I'm just going to text. What? Give me a number.
I'm going to go, since I went 50, I'm going to go number 1 this time.
Number 1. Oh, this is an interesting question.
Oh, you said good question for everything. Now you got the interesting.
If you could live in a house shaped like anything, what would it be?
A house shaped like anything. I'm going to have to say the shape of Texas. Like, coming out of Texas, way too prideful about the greatest country that ever was. It would be an interesting layout for sure. We've seen everything in Texas. Like, we got Texas waffles, we got Texas-shaped pools, we got Texas-shaped ice cubes. These are all things I own in my house, minus the pool, by the way. Texas-shaped waffle irons, the whole shebang. But the idea of putting my house like that would be pretty fun.
Would your fence be the Cadillacs all buried in the dirt? Cadillac Ranch. Yeah,
I loved all the colorful, but we'd have to get you to come bring your creative friends to paint each one for me, though.
I just Googled Texas shaped houses, and you're already behind the market there.
That doesn't surprise me. I know guys who have not just Texas tattoos, but this is just how country we get in Texas, but who went out and got Texas shaped branding irons and branded themselves with the shape of Texas. I'm like, well, I may not mutilate myself for my state,
that's
but
a bad idea.
More power to you. We like our state.
I would, Google Texas-shaped house, and there it is. You got one.
I'm a little sad now. Hey, wait, in a trailer home did not come up. You're not lying to me, right? Okay. Kim just lost it. She's laughing too hard now.
I'm curious. Why did you pick the numbers you picked? Was anyone have reasons to what numbers now you've picked so far?
I'm 43 and I have a kid that's 17. Oh. If we keep this all going for a while, I name my kids, but the one that came to mind first, 17. Yeah.
17. Okay.
Rochambeau.
Stacy just picked one.
Yep.
Just first number popped in your head.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyone else have a reason why you picked numbers you have?
I'm the guy who's actually writing down everyone's numbers as they've been going. But I just went with numbers that no one had picked, 1 and 50. Usually people pick somewhere in between them, not necessarily those numbers.
I think for you, Tex, you like going to either extremes.
I do. I like going big or going home.
You're not in the middle kind of person. You're all or nothing.
All in or nothing. That's right.
Yeah. But you, Vanessa?
I did what Stacy did. Just a number came to head, and there it went.
That's interesting. I thought you would have a connectiveness reason why you needed a number.
Kids' half birthday.
Yeah, I know that. How many days since this has happened in your life, or something like that? Interesting.
Number 12, because Jesus had 12 disciples.
Oh, there we go.
Can you tell which of us is actually the spiritual one of our group? She's got great answers, and I'm over here talking about my Texas-shaped house. Yeah, we're glad Maria's here, because that's the reason we still focus on Jesus, I guess, is,
I just hope that my house is somewhere near Maria's in heavens. It will probably be several miles away on the Texas-shaped house side.
We'll be neighbors in that trailer park together, right outside Evan's door.
All right, Maria, number 1 through 50, whatever, besides what else has been asked.
Okay. Number 28, because it's my son's, that's how old he is this year. Taking the idea off of Kim.
What's the best thing about being a kid?
Childlike faith. Yep.
Yeah, elaborate. What do you mean by that?
Good try, Maria. Getting away with a quick answer.
They don't doubt. Just like Tex was referring to, that they haven't saw other people being better. Their excitement. I've been in a preschool class where it was pretend picnic, and I thought that wasn't going to go over, but the look on their faces and the joy of like, we're having a picnic. And in my mind, it's a fake picnic, but for them, it's a real picnic, And so just enjoying that and just the joy of that. I mean, how could you not smile, So, yeah.
6-year-old me would have been so mad there was no food. Like, the rest of it could have been fake, but if there wasn't food at the table and sweet tea, there would have been problems. I'm just saying that's not a glass half full thing. That's a full-on Tex meltdown at 6 years old. So, and I mean real 6, not leap day 6. I just got to clarify on that one as well. This wasn't like 4 years ago me.
You should let us ask you a question off there.
Let me ask this one first.
Ooh,
sorry.
That's a great way to defer questions.
When we've gone another round here of asking questions, what surprises you about, not necessarily about what people said, but what surprises you about the conversations that we've had, even just asking questions you would ask kids? What is the dynamic of even asking questions? What have you learned about even our little exercise here? This isn't good for podcasting when you're all quiet.
You're silent. So I would say there's not one of those questions that I thought of that I would have asked a child. Like, I know the list says questions you would ask a kid, but that wasn't how it felt at all. And so I think that just speaks to, you can ask the same questions to a child as you can to an adult. You're going to get different answers, but it doesn't mean that you can't ask those same exact questions. That was...
I think for me, I really appreciate the honesty in this room. Like, I think for the most part, our team really trusts each other. But if you just ask like some random person, like, what is heaven like? Or where do babies come from? Or, all these different questions we had, I think what I found interesting is, like, for us, like, we were just very open and honest to share some stuff. Even for some of us, things we may not necessarily share had it been a stranger, had it been someone just randomly asking us questions, or someone even that we're just barely getting to know. And I think that's something I've really enjoyed about this conversation, is just that kind of vulnerability, that honesty that exists in a place where you have genuine trust with the people around you.
I've had fun processing having a 5-year-old in my home. When you ask him questions similar to this, his answer's right there. Like, he's ready to go with stuff. And you think with us, like, we really had to kind of drag for a second. Like, hold on, what do I think about this? And so I love that kids, like, we don't really associate kids are pondering life a lot, but a lot of these questions they would have had a fast answer to. And we really had to draw deep in that. And so just making me think of how much kids ponder more than we think they do, and they process more, and like how fun it is to like dream up ideas to some of that stuff, almost the vulnerability of it. But yeah.
And there is the answer from your children's director.
Show off.
That's not what I was trying to do.
I think, well, I definitely agree with what everyone has said, but what's interesting is just the vast and the diverse answers. And there's a lot, like with Kim being a car mechanic, I never in a million years would have thought that would have been her answer. And I think as adults, we spend so much time trying to think of good questions and these complex questions, or these questions that are going to lead to these huge, discoveries. But like slowing down and just asking simple questions, like you get good answers. You get heartfelt answers. And yeah, it's been really good.
Let's come back to that in a second.
That.
Yeah,
I really like that. Yeah, that was good.
Are you, Maria?
They were fun questions.
They were fun questions.
I like the short, simple, sweet nature that is Maria's answers.
It's interesting, Vanessa, go back to what you just said a minute ago. I think it's not necessarily that the quality of questions we're asking. It's the ability that we all came to listen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you could just say share a quick, you do a question, but I think there's a sense for us that we wanted to hear each other. Yeah. We really did want to hear what kind of shape house Tex would want, or what heaven would look like, or what crazy car mechanic Kim would want to be, or whatever it might be. Like
redneck wrestler.
Yeah.
That's got to be a tattoo somewhere. We need to Google that. And if it's not, we're going to pay a tattoo artist to make that happen for Kim. That's for sure.
The sense of just wanting to listen, like the power of listening to somebody is just really significant. And so that's what I kind of walk away from our conversation here.
That's so true. And I think that's something that children do so much better sometimes even than adults, because I think, as Kim said, like, we formulate our questions. We're thinking through how we want to respond. How will they rethink if we do this, if I say this? And you're thinking 20 steps ahead how they might respond, versus kids just want to be heard. I think you're exactly right, and they're excited for the opportunity to share that someone's going to care and listen to them. And so, yeah, I think that's huge that we've had that, but also, like, kids are so good at it. They're just happy to be heard.
I don't think it's a kid thing. I think we all want to be heard.
I think you're exactly right. I think we do. I think it's one of those that I think we as adults, and for whatever reason, because of life, we've switched out of that to formulating all those things, like I was saying, versus kids will be completely unfiltered with the truth. And I think that's wonderful that we kind of got to see a window of that today.
So I think you're right. We all want to be heard. I think as the older we get, the more scared we are to speak, because we're afraid if somebody really hears us that either A, they're going to judge us, or B, they might really get to know us. And that's a scary prospect.
So I'm going to stop it right there, and hopefully you got a chance to get to know our team a little bit more, and you get to know our personalities, get to know a little more about who we are, as we just kind of shared. And I look forward to sharing the last half of it with you guys next month. Just a few kind of just recaps, or just kind of just summary statements as I reflect on our conversation, and as you think for yourself. I know there was a lot of laughter, a lot of even though inside jokes that we had and you didn't even necessarily hear anything that came through in the podcast. But I just want to know, like, how much fun it is to work with other people. That, man, in the busyness of life and the busyness of all what we do, where it's in our own workplaces, at home, and at home and our families, the groups that we're a part of, and teams that we're a part of, and the most important thing you could do is have fun with people, and to enjoy the community of serving alongside other people. And so I'd encourage you, are you enjoying the people you're with, the people you be a part of your life? Sometimes in the busyness of our lives, and just the busyness, or I mean sometimes the routine of our lives, we forget just to have fun and laugh and to enjoy. You don't necessarily need to do things that are extravagant or over the top. All we did is took some questions, and we took some time to sit and laugh and have conversations. And so I encourage you to think about the fun that you're having with the people in your life that are closest to you, that you spend the most time with, to enjoy those moments, and enjoy laughter. Put the TV down, put down whatever those things that may block us from it, just to enjoy, but to find some time. But I also really appreciate that last reflection that we had, and you heard it from probably Stacy and Vanessa and a few others as well, and just the value of listening, and the value of just being able to create some space in your life to listen to others. We weren't asking magical questions. We weren't asking things that you couldn't come up with. We just Googled 50 questions to ask kids, and a list came up. Man, but the ability to hear and listen to people is just so significant. And I think we all, not just kids, and we talked about this, but all of us long to be heard. And so I encourage you to take time to listen to somebody today. Ask them a question. Ask them one of the questions that you heard us say. You could find the list on, if you want to find your own question, or come with a few options. But I encourage you today, find someone you can listen to and hear a little bit of their story in maybe ways you've never heard before. Because I think we all desire to be heard and be valued by someone else in our life. That's going to be this month's Leading Well conversation. Remember, our heart here is to help you lead well by caring for your soul, developing your skills, and cultivating communities that do good work. My name is Zach and Bowden, and I'm glad to be your host this month, and that's this month's Leading Well conversation.